11-year-old Blake Bell looks and acts like most boys his age. There are ball games to be played, baskets to be made, and oranges to be juggled. But for the last 5 years, Blake has lived with a life-threatening disease.
It's hard living with it.
This is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And there's no weekends off, there's no holidays, you don't get a week's vacation. And to me as a parent, that's a burden, but the real burden is on him because he has to do this for the rest of his life.
Blake is living with type 1 diabetes, a disease that requires ongoing management, exercise, nutrition, and support.
I think the most helpful thing for us has been meeting other families, and the ADA has helped us with that through some of the events at Family Link. And knowing other families definitely helps the children and us.
Blake's symptoms began to surface while on a family vacation when he was 6 years old. He was making multiple trips to the bathroom and simply wasn't himself.
Just dehydrated and my head hurt and I felt like I was going to throw up and like I had the flu or something.
I remember one day Brad was heading to go golfing and Blake was in his room and he was just screaming. He was just screaming and screaming and his head hurt, and I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, that was pretty much the hardest thing for me to see, was he was just in some sort of pain, and that was hard to watch.
Blake was rushed to a local hospital, where his parents learned that short of a cure, their youngest child would live with type 1 diabetes for the rest of his life.
Blake was there in the hospital in the ER for a few hours, and then they transferred us to a room, which we stayed there for a week, learning how to take care of our child.
Blake was diagnosed on July 2nd, 2009, so 60 days later, we're asked to send him off to first grade. How do you send your kid to school when you're not confident you can manage the disease, let alone the people at school?
The American Diabetes Association's Safe at School program gives parents the peace of mind they need. The program trains teachers and staff to provide diabetes management for students using insulin when mom or dad can't be there.
I think it's very great to be able to drop your kid off at school and know that he is well taken care of.
One of the most important things to us is that Blake is treated like a normal kid at school and really wherever he goes. And the ADA advocates for that. Sometimes he gets frustrated and he'll come to us and say, I don't like diabetes, and I say, I agree, I don't like it either.
Mostly, Blake wishes everything would just go away.
From the shots and everything.
Blake and his family are not alone. Through Safe at School and other American Diabetes Association programs, parents can make it through the tough times, and children living with diabetes can have a voice.
I just hope they get a cure so I don't have to live with it anymore.
257.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Go get him.
Like many boys his age, Blake Bell hopes his team will win the game. And like many boys living with diabetes, he hopes for a cure for himself and for others.
It'd be the best day of my life. I just don't want to do this anymore.
I wish that Blake didn't have to deal with diabetes, and that he could go along throughout a day without having to think about his blood sugar, and with just being able to play a baseball game without having to stop and check his blood, play basketball, or go outside and play with his friends without having to worry about blood sugar.
Insulin is life support, but it's not a cure.
I would love to have a cure in Blake's lifetime.